Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the today is Tehani الهاجري, an incubation specialist from Qatar Development Bank. Tehani studied or holds a master in finance from University of Derby in UK. During her university years, Tehani studied the best practices of leading companies and entrepreneurs from all over the world. And she uses this knowledge and this experience to lead with her colleagues at UDB the Lean Startup Program, which helps startups discovering their roadmap and how to offer their product to the market. During the next hour, Tehani will talk to us about product positioning and how through strategic product positioning exercise, companies can find their differentiator in the market and craft a strategic position with their target audience. Thank you so much, Tehani, for being with us today, and the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aziz. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here with you, and thank you for joining us. So today, I will go through the product positioning. We'll start with what's the definition of product positioning? What do we mean by that? Also, the fundamentals and stages of building product persona, product positioning strategies, and also process steps. And we will end up the workshop today with a practice that you can apply your idea, or you put your product and write 1 or 2 sentences that makes you different than others. First, let's talk about what's product positioning. It's the marketing effort to improve sales by targeting a product to a specific group of people with a message that highlights the benefit and unique features. Of course, that targeting is very important in the beginning, where you know who's your customers and what you want them to know about you. Also, it refers to the ability to influence a consumer perception of a brand or product relative to its competitors. It's where you make yourself different, why people will come to you and not to others. It's not only about the benefit or the quality, it's a whole package that makes you different, and we will go through it all today. And also establish the image of a brand or a product. Also, it's made up of core building blocks that explain your product's unique value, how you are delivering your value to your customers in the market, and how you are positioning your product for success. We have key elements that define product positioning. First, what's your vision? What's your mission? And what's the market category you are putting yourself in? And who's your customer segment that you are trying to reach? What's the price you are putting for your products? And what's your competitive advantages or unique selling points? Something you have that others doesn't. Why people will come to you and not to other companies. Also, it's very important to see customer challenges as a key element, because you are building your product, building your solution to fill customers' needs and try to solve and help them with their challenges. Also, the brand and the product attributes and how you are different in the market. Let's go through different fundamentals for the product positioning. First, it has the great impact on a customer's purchasing decision. For example, if you will go to a supermarket and you think about breakfast cereal, which brand you will think about? If you are going to buy a specific product, maybe a new phone or a new TV, what you will think about, or maybe new furniture. Which brands will come in your mind first? So your positioning will impact the customer decision to buy. When they are aware that they need something and they go to the market or try to search online, they will look for you if you position yourself right for them. And also, second, you will be in the mind of the customers. And you can notice here, it's mostly they are focusing on mental map of the market. It's not only about people will look for your features and they will read about it and how your products are great. It's the whole package. What's your values as a company? What you are providing them? What's the customers you are trying to focus on? Also, it helps your customers with their buying process. It will be easy to buy. For example, a few days ago, I was looking for a new TV. I went to the store, and immediately I start to eliminate all the brands except Sony and Samsung. I went only through them, and to check each one and their benefit. I didn't think about any others. That's how they position themselves in the market. In marketing, maybe you saw before about customer persona. Customer persona, it's what your customer is doing, how's their lifestyle, so you can target them and know where you can find them. But also your product has persona that you need to work on that will make you different from others. First, it's the brand attributes and the product features, starting with the product and answering the question of what do the product and service do? What's the mission you are completing or the task you are helping people to complete? Second, we have functional benefits, which answer the question, what do customers, client gain from your product? What are you helping them with? What kind of pain you are trying to solve in their life, and how you make their lives easier and save time and cost. And also emotional benefits is very important element for a product persona, because the product is not only physical thing, it's also emotion. So it's about what do customers feel when they buy or see or think about your product, how it makes them feel. They feel that you are helping them with their performance, you are helping them to be safe, or helping them to feel confident front of their maybe managers at work or other people when your product helps them with their performance and can have impact on them. It's the outcomes of your product and service. And last one, it's the product persona. It's the values you're having, attributes. What do customers, the client, think when they see the product and service? For example, if you see Adidas, they will write, impossible is nothing. And for Nike, they will say, or you will see on their walls in Qatar Mall, they will write, if you have a body, so you are athletes. So they are empowering everyone. And each brand, they have a different messages to help people think about them in a specific way. We need to create a product positioning strategy to ensure that the product is different from others, show how the product is addressing the customer's purchasing criteria, and also articulate key product and service characteristics. First, you have to focus on one key message at a time and connect with the target customer base, make it something more meaningful. Also, how you are different against other competitors in the market. And your strategy should be relevant and significant to the target customers, and also sustainable. how you are trying to be sustainable for the future of your customers' need. You don't want them only to buy from you 1 or 2 times. You want to be sustainable, and they always think about you when they want to buy the same product to fill their needs. Also, you need to gain their trust. There is different strategies. First, some companies want to position themselves on performance. They want to position themselves in the market as they have better performance for the customers. Example, Apple, different cars companies. Another type is the price, positioning themselves in the market based on the price they are offering that others didn't offer for their customers. Example, we have Uber, which is the cheapest price other than limousine or regular taxis. Even if you travel, or even when you try to find a ride, you will not say, I'm looking for a car, I'm waiting a car. You will say, I'm waiting my Uber. So it's a strong brand now. It's their persona, how they are helping you to reach the places you want and save your money in the same time. We have IKEA. They have a better prices than others. They can save your money as well by providing you with the products to assemble by yourself. There are also famous airlines in Europe called EasyJet, where you can travel in different places in Europe for 100, 200 pounds. They don't offer, of course, the same features like Qatar Airways. They are trying to fill the customer's needs to travel from a place to another with a small budget. And then they have extra services that you can pay for if you want to add. Also, we have companies, they are positioning themselves in the market as leaders, how they can capture major market share, and sometimes based on the innovation they have, like Google, Apple, Sony. So when anyone try to run a service or a product or create a product similar to them, they need to think about the leadership, because those companies, they are taking care of, they are owning a lot of shares in the market, and they have a loyal customers. Also, positioning based on benefits, how you are providing your customers with different benefits that makes you different from others. I'm here showing an example about Dyson, which is the famous vacuum for the houses. Because when people think about vacuums, they will think vacuums and then Dyson in another side. It's totally different thing with the different features. There is wireless services and different features they have. The fourth one is positioning based on the competition. So you will see a company that's trying to differ themselves in the market by offering more things or new things than others. We can see here Ooredoo and Vodafone and other companies that offer the same service. They will try to compete based on the prices and the packages and services and different things. We have a lot of companies also in this field, like if we'll say Apple and Samsung competing in the phones industry. And also positioning based on the quality. They want always to remember the customers to remember them as they have the best quality. So their value proposition will be always the quality, like Nike and also other fashion, cars brands and others. We have 3 important things. We have to do segmentation. We need to know who's our customers, who's the people we are trying to reach. We will not only create a product and then to try to reach everyone, because if you are trying to reach everyone, you will end up with no one. You need to segment your customers first, and you need to do customer data analysis and market research to decide on that. First, you need to come up with market segment definition and develop customer persona, so you know your customers really well before trying to reach them. After you segment different customers, they can have the same needs, or they need the product to solve their problem. And then after you segment them, you need to target which one is relevant to you, which one you think will need you most and be willing to pay for your product. So you need to work on demand analysis, where you will see which segment will need you most. Not only about the need and the problem you are trying to solve, also, do they have a budget to pay for you? Are they willing to consider you as a company they want to buy from? Last thing, after you know the segmentation, after you work on the segmentation and choose your target, then you can position your product in the market. And before doing that, of course, you need to know the competition in the market and analyze it. Who's doing better? Who's trying to go with the best price? Who's trying to work on the best quality? You try to see the whole picture in the market so you can know where you can put yourself in. You can score your competitors and compare against the businesses. For example, you can have a table and put a checklist, a price, a quality, features, accessibility, and other things that you see it's related between you and them, and what will make you different. So let's go through the product positioning process steps. We started with market segmentation, identify the competitors, and selection of key products and service attributes. For scoring the competitors, a product positioning mapping, it's the same one we mentioned before, but now with more details. So when we start working on the market segmentation, we try to identify customers group having similar needs. We might have different segments, but all agree on the same needs, and you are trying to solve the same problem for all of them. We start first with the behavior. What's their loyalty state? Are they a kind of people who will be loyal to you and will always come back to buy more? How many occasions they have in their life? Usage rate. What about how much they are using from the service or the product? And also frequency of buying. How many times they need to buy the product? Are you selling something that they will need every month, or it's one time for a few years? For example, if you are buying phone, maybe you will have it, maybe you will buy every 2 or 3 years. But if you are trying to buy something for the household, maybe you will need it monthly. So you need to decide that based on the product you are selling. And also it's very important to think about the buyer readiness. So first, buyer need to be aware that they need your solution and your product, and not only aware, also they are ready to pay. They are willing to pay to get the product. And then we go to segment them based on their interests, what they are interested about, what they like, what about their lifestyle? Are they full-time employees? Are they students? Are they entrepreneurs working on their own businesses away from work? What about their personalities, their opinions, or the causes they are believing in, the activities they like to do in their life? And finally, demographic. How old are they? What about their gender, their income? Are you trying to go with a low income segment or higher or in the middle? Also geographic, like city, where are they from? Which region? Which nationality? All of them makes a difference. For example, you can't sell ice skateboarding or snow skateboarding in Qatar during the summer, it will be the wrong region and the wrong place for it. And second, identifying the competitors in the market. To do that, first, you have to work on a primary and secondary research to understand, first, who are the competitors, how they are positioning themselves in the market. So before you try to position yourself, think about them, how they position themselves in the market first. What's their strategy towards marketing? And here you can see an example of chocolate manufacturing, Lindt, Cadbury, Snickers, and others, and there's different strategies and market strategies. Some of them like to be famous with the best quality. Some of them, they like to be famous with the most company with different variety of products. 3, you need to select your key product and service attributes. So based on the market research, key product attributes are identified that influence customers' purchasing decisions, such as what's your product features? What's the product benefits? Features, it's about the technical things you are providing. Benefits, how your customers will benefit from your product. And you can see an example of chocolate factory. They are trying to launch a new brand of chocolate bar, and you can see how they can list the things that they want to focus on, how they are trying to make to be different than others. What's their buying criteria? Taste, price, pack size, flavors. And it depends from product to a product. If you look to technology, you will see more things about performance, about usage, about how fast it will be, and other things. So it's not the same for everyone. Here you can see an example of a product positioning mapping. You need to determine the major attributes influencing customer buying decision, and then score the competitors against the attributes in the positioning map as follows. You can see example below. There are 2 things to compare with: a price and variety of flavors. And you always can change it. You don't have to put the same thing. You can put price, quality, or a quality and accessibility. You can do different things, what you want to compare. And here, last thing, it's your turn. So I'm sharing an example that you can fill. You can take a picture of it and work in your own product positioning. We offer X product for target market 2. When we say value proposition, we mean, are you increasing their performance? Are you saving their time? Are you saving their money? Are you helping them to increase their income? There are a lot of different value proposition that will help your customers. And then you can write, unlike other competitors in the market that you are trying to be ahead on them. And then what's special about you and what makes you different. So that's the information I want to share today. I hope it was simple and brief about the product positioning. And I will encourage you to go do more research about it. There are a lot of other things as well. I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you, Tehani. Thank you so much. This has been a very insightful presentation. And it's a crucial subject for any startups or actually any, let's say, company who is looking to launch a new product. The positioning is a make it or break it for a lot of companies. Now, as usual, we can take Q&A. You can type your question in the Q&A tab that you will see next to the in the bottom of the screen, and we're happy. Tehani will be happy to answer any questions you might have. Also, if Tehani, can we go back to the previous slide where there is the exercise?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, thank you so much. So now, if you'd like to, instead of questions, if you'd like to take, let's say, a minute or two to think of this exercise about your company and your product, and write it in the Q&A section, and we'll share it with Tehani, and maybe she has a comment or a suggestion to improve, or she can give us her opinion. So that's if you don't want to ask questions, I think this is a very good exercise to do.
Yes, you are free whether to ask questions or to work on your product positioning, and I can share feedback with you. We are here for you today to serve you and make sure that we are adding value.
Tehani, can you give us an example of this exercise, for example, or of a company that you find their positioning to be, let's say, excellent, or something that you really like? I know you gave a lot of examples during the presentations, but following this exercise, does somebody come to mind, for example, who's doing a good job at it?
Okay, I can use a personal example. I'm an Apple user. I'm really loyal to Apple, and all my devices are from there. One of the things is accessibility. So I can work at home on iMac on an important document, and then if I need it, I can access from my phone or from iPad or laptop when I go out or travel. So I feel like they're organizing my life. They bringing everything together and save my time. So accessibility, it's one of their value proposition. And actually, it's one of Apple tricks to make you committed to them and be more loyal, because you need their devices to be connected.
Yeah, as a fellow Apple user, I second that opinion. It's the seamless connectivity that is actually a great positioning, as you said, because a lot of our friends who are Android users will tell you, you can do this on Android, you have to download an app, you can do this, you can connect practically now any two devices together. But you're right, what makes it very attractive with the Apple product is you don't even have to think about it. The devices talk to themselves, connect, and very seamless. I can close this laptop and pick up on my second laptop exactly from where I left, or on an iPad or the iPhone. So you're right, that is a very strong positioning. Yeah,
another comment, customers don't want to hear about your amazing, great, perfect benefits or what's the features you are providing. They want to know how you are going to help them, how their life or work will be different if they buy your products. It's all about them, and you need to centralize your focus on them.
So yeah, that's very helpful. What you're saying is, don't tell me 10 technical features in an iPhone. Just tell me one thing that it does for me using these 10 technical features, and that will be mostly what I care about.
Yeah, and if it's not about phone, you can write anything you just bought recently and why you bought it.
That's like reverse engineering the position. What is the positioning of that product from my point of view as a consumer or a user, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So do we have any questions, or is anyone working on this exercise? Okay, We have a question. We have two questions now. I will take the first one. When bringing a new product into the market, how do you convince customers to support your brand or product over already established brands in the market?
Okay, so it depends actually what's your market position in for your product. Are you providing your customers with the same thing everyone is doing, or you are doing something different? If you are doing something different, you need to market for it and maybe try to reach them by different way. And nothing is perfect plan in the market. You can always test and validate different ways. Maybe you can show up in exhibitions and show them how to use it, or they can take a free parts of it, small boxes, they can try it and come back to you if they are interested.
Okay, thank you, Tehani. The second question is from Abdullah Shdeed. Sorry, the first question was from Ayrton, if I got the name right. And the second question is from Abdullah Shdeed, who's asking how to improve market segmentation in a multicultural market. That is an excellent question, Abdullah.
Yeah, I like the question. So that's why
$1 million question.
Yeah, I like it. You can find here the slide for market segmentation. That's why you need to go on different things. You are not going only about their culture or their nationality or their region. When you are done with that, go to other things in their behavior. How many times they are using the product? Are they like heavy tech where they try to buy the new technology in the market? How they are loyal to the brands they like to buy from? How many times they are buying? What about their readiness? If you are selling something luxury, you can target a low-income segment. And also you need to look to their lifestyle, their interest, what they like. For example, you can't target people who care about sustainability and environment by selling them a product with a lot of plastic packages. You need to be careful about your customers and know their lifestyle and even the causes they are believing in. And it depends actually, yeah, you might reach people depends on their nationality or their region, or you can reach them based on their interest, even if they are from different cultures.
Yeah, I think that's key, what you just said, Tehani. In a multicultural market, let's say Qatar, for example, is a very diversified market, and it makes it a bit tricky for companies to segment their audience. So if you go with only demographic and geographic, let's say, metrics, you'll end up with a very, very segmented market. But if you group your audience or segment them based on, as you said, behavioral and interests and the psychographics, you start creating more addressable groups. I think that's a very smart way of going about it. Does that answer your questions, Abdullah and Ayrton? Or if you have any follow-up questions, we're here to help. And if you guys are working on that exercise, or if you'd like to submit that exercise, please let me know in the chat or in the Q&A section. What have you wrote or written so far? If you have any questions about how to complete that exercise. This is very, very important, and I think having Tehani with us today is a great advantage. So I encourage you to use the time and try that exercise if you can. Even if you, let's say, work for a company, at the end of the day, we all do sales wherever we are in the company. we all contribute to selling our product at the end of the day. So maybe you want to take that as a personal exercise and thinking of your company and their offering. I have a question, Tahani. I think it will be interesting to everybody. When we look at market segmentation of this slide, this is where I got the question from actually. Thinking of behavioral segmentation factors, for example, or psychographic. I mean, demographic and geographic information are kind of easy to get nowadays. You can find multiple resources, but what, in your opinion, are the best resources or way to get to the other factors like the behavioral and psychographic factors? Where would you go for this information? Do you do your own research? Do you have like research groups or websites that help, for example?
Okay, so Google Scholar is one of the interesting things. Also, you can go to Authority of Statistics in Qatar to know more about some segments. It's called the primary research, the desktop research, where you can do everything before meeting anyone. For secondary research, maybe you can take a few people from different segments and you can interview them. You don't do everything away from them. Work your customers to create the product they need.
So focus groups or one-on-one interviews, you go in depth and you ask the questions that matter.
Yes, exactly. Or even to do focus group when you bring people from the same segment, showing them your product, encourage them to try it. It depends. Is it something physical related to a household, or if it's technology or different products? They need to see it, hold it, and see how they can share their feedback. Also, exhibitions is a great way. Try to show up in a lot of events to show people and take their feedback. That's what will make you different than others.
Yes, that is kind of insight you can't get, as you said, from just primary research. We have another question from Abdullah, and I think Abdullah is right on spot with his questions. Here's another excellent one. How about B2B market segmentation?
Yes, very interesting questions. I wanted to know more about the details, what you want to know more about. But for B2B, you need to work on separating different entities. Are you trying to target ministries and governmental entities? Are you trying to target maybe stores? If yes, which stores you are looking for? Are you looking to work with construction companies, maybe educational companies, agencies, a lot of them? And even when you try to choose your segment, you need to know about their behavior. Is it a company that will be easy to access, easy to reach and talk to someone there or not? So don't get stuck with your segment. Sometimes maybe you want to reach official places with a new product, and in the beginning it will be hard to reach them as they don't trust you yet or they don't know you yet. So you can start to work with the small companies to get more trust and more credibility.
Tehani, if I may add to this, and I want your opinion as well, maybe the discussion will help everyone. One of the things that I find very helpful with B2B marketing is what I call enablers or let's say strategic channels. Say, for example, you sell, you're a company that does home mobility. So you have people moving and relocating from one location to another. This is a big market for Qatar because there's a lot of expats who come and leave all the time. So mobility is a big part of life. So for example, you will, I mean, I'm your end user at the end of the day, or companies who hire or who employ hundreds of people are good clients for you. But maybe you use, let's say, the companies who issue visas and help, let's say, corporates with their visas, and you can package your services with them. So from the minute, or even with employment companies, recruitment agencies, you can package a product with them and use their leverage with the big corporate to reach the corporate. If I made my point clear, what do you think about that? So don't look at only at the end user or the customer. Try to find other segments in the market that might help you by packaging your product with their product and offer it. In B2B, I find that useful and efficient.
Exactly, I totally agree with you. For example, if you are working on something in IT or you are creating anything technical, you need to reach the IT team in any company before even reaching the management. You need to make sure, because they are the one who will use and be the influencer for your product in front of their management. They can be the one who actually encourage their management to buy from you because they think that you will maybe save their money, you will help them with better performance. So always make sure to list all the stakeholders and which one will be more reachable and which one you can talk with, and they are the one who can decide.
Amazing. I think that's a very good way of looking at it. Understanding the sales cycle of your product and segmenting your audience based on where do they fit in that cycle, as you said. All right. Do we have any more questions, or is anyone going to share with us the exercise, or you'd like to keep it private and dear only to you?
If you don't feel comfortable sharing examples from your own product or companies, you can even share about the latest product you bought and why you bought it. Okay, we have, I think, question here.
Yes, we have a question from Abdullah again. What I meant is that most of the companies, agencies are looking to the business from financial point of view in a way that has nothing to do with product, service, quality, or functionality. That makes the market driven always to the price positioning. Excellent. And a tough one.
Okay, I'm trying to read it. I wish you can rephrase it more.
Yeah, I think what Abdullah is saying, that especially in B2B and considering some procurement practices like tenders and RFPs and all of that, it makes the pricing factor very important in the decision making. So he's saying, how can you, I think the question is, how can you differentiate yourself in a price-driven market or segment?
Okay, so you need to talk with two stakeholders if you want to reach any entity. First, the technical person who will use your product, will endorse it, and also to have someone from their finance or someone who can like check their budget and make sure if they can pay for you, or someone working in their finance and accounting that will also endorse you to their management that actually you are saving their budget and you are providing them with a better price than other companies. And the technical person and their team will tell the management how your product is helping their company performance and productivity.
Yeah, I think the classical, let's say, comparison of price versus value is what you want to drive the conversation to, because people look at the price tag and they think, okay, this is cheap, this is expensive, but the value that the product brings to you, or the durability of the product, all that are factors that we need to highlight in B2B, let's say, positioning. And this is, going back to Apple, this is something that Apple, even though they're mostly B2C, but they also do B2B sales, and they're very good at people buy their product, and companies buy their product even if they are above the average market price, because they see the value in them. So they still succeed to not just find their position, but grow it in the market constantly.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Aziz. I think the time is,
yeah, it's reached the end of our timing, and this has been really enriching conversation with you, Tehani. I want to thank you for the time, for the effort, and I think when you put together such a good presentation, you don't leave a lot of room for questions, but we got some really deep questions out of the conversation today. So thank you, Tehani الهاجري, and thank you to our audience, and I will see you again at 1 o'clock.